Welcome back from that. Sometimes I wish we could go behind the scenes and show you what fun we sometimes have right here. But we are getting to discuss the environment. Like I said earlier, what are we doing collectively to ensure that there are practical, sustainable practices that we are inculcating to ensure our environment is sustained. We are discussing that. We also have to discuss the Nigerian environmental society's activities that are coming up. We have an induction coming up of new members, one that I think we should be part of. I'm not sure if our gowns are ready because I like to, I am environmental sustainable advocate. Well, we will also talk about the end of year party or event that's also coming up and the plans. But in the studio to discuss all of this is Dr. Uche Agbanusi, former national president of the Nigerian Environmental Society. We also have in the studio town planner Leke Olushola Emmanuel, FCT chapter chairman, who is the recent president because I want to apply. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes. So let's I think former national president, you've been here before talking about the environment here on Aso TV. It's good to have you again. But I'd like you once again to refresh our memory on what the society does, what it's about, and what drives you.
Yeah, thank you very much, my sister. I appreciate this kind of question. I'm always excited to talk about the environment because the environment consists of three things. I talk about the land, the air, the water, and other both living and non-living things. We talk about ecosystem. We talk about the environment of man because man must stay, live, die, and in the environment. These are some of the things we know that God Himself had given to man. When God created the world, He now placed man. Out of all the planets, He decided to place man on earth. And He said, go deal with the environment, that is, by tending it, and also multiply in the environment. But now, human beings are taking this ordinance of God, that command of God, to mean a different thing. You know, people are coming now to come and dominate the environment in a negative way. And that is the problem we have. Because of man's anthropogenic activities, man has decided to deal negatively with the environment. And that is the problem and challenges we have today. So, because of the challenges that we have these days, the Nigerian Environmental Society came to be. Why? Because in Nigeria, some time ago, some people came all the way from Italy to come and dump toxic waste in cocoa in our territory. These are toxic waste, and they paid peanuts to the man that owned the land, and they dumped these toxic waste in cocoa. And that now created a kind of agitation, and that in fact started the environmental movement in Nigeria. And the earthheads came together, even with the government, and said we must form at least an advocacy group that can challenge such wicked acts that were coming from abroad, because they felt that we are not knowledgeable enough to have regulations. And so they now decided to call for the people to come and form what we call Nigerian Environmental Society, which involve various people from different kinds of profession. Not only environmentalists, people from other areas are part of this struggle. And that is why NES was formed in 1985. NES became the first Nigerian environmental advocate organization in Nigeria. So it's a premier environmental organization and still the largest in the country. Remember that within this period of all those struggles, FEPA was formed. That is Federal Environmental Protection Agency. Not Federal Ministry of Environment. Federal Ministry of Environment is a recent coming. That is why it became ministry. But FEPA was what was formed in that time. At that time, and that is why we are saying that being those premier people that have noticed this wicked act by foreigners, then we decided that we are going to carry it on and on and on. And I just want to tell you that NES, Nigerian Environmental Society, has been in the forefront for the fight for the environment, in Nigeria, and to ensure its sustainability. And the work that we do in the environment is enormous, because we need to involve people. We need to involve all people, because every man in this environment is a stakeholder. Nobody will say that he's not a stakeholder. And that is why in NES, it is unique and a unique organization where you have all professionals from all walks of life coming to be members of NES. Because when you come with your short sightedness of your professional knowledge, you will see some other person that will also come with his own idea about the environment, and we begin to mix them to come up with something that is more sustainable. And that is why NES, I will say NES is a colossus.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
I like that introduction. I like that introduction. And one thing I picked from there that is so much important to me is about the waste being dumped, the toxic waste being dumped in
Cocoa.
Okay, and that informed the formation of
Nigerian Environmental Society. Yeah.
And after that, has there been occurrence of such again where toxic waste are being dumped in and around us?
I think that.
Well. I can tell you that man's intransigencies cannot just stop.
Okay.
So it has been happening, but not in the magnitude it happened before, because there's someone or some people you can call the vanguards of the environment, especially Nigeria Environmental Society, NES.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Town Planner Leko Olushola Emmanuel.
Thank you very much.
You are the FCT chapter chairperson for Nigeria Environmental Society.
Yes.
Good. From your background as a town planner, tell us the current state of Abuja, because this is our own immediate environment where we are. The way Abuja is planned, is it planned to accommodate all, or planned for certain group of people as things is right now?
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Yeah, your question is a very good one, a valid one. From my own background as a town planner and what I know, Daddy here is my professional colleague, my senior professional colleague, so he's here to bear me witness. The master plan has been there and was prepared long time ago. And originally, the master plan of Abuja is to accommodate, it's supposed to be a kind of, Abuja is supposed to be a kind of administrative headquarters. That was the plan, that was the idea, that was the concept from the beginning. But as we have it now, the population has surged more than what it was originally planned for. You can see many people coming in from different type of, from different states to come to Abuja. And this one is telling on the plan and the environment itself. And that's just the truth, because the resources available, the way it was planned, and all those things. What the population we have now has even overseen more than what it can. The retention level of the environment is having issue. And like Daddy mentioned, the anthropogenic activities of man. That when you talk about anthropogenic activities of man, that's man evolution and growth. That's man. Let me just say man evolution. Yeah, let me use that word evolution. How they go and grow their activities. You cannot stop them from doing some certain things. The way we grew up, what we did is different from what our children are doing now. Activities has changed and everything is telling on the environment. Now we must develop. We have a lot of green areas. All those things were taken care of from the master plan from originally. But what we have now, we see the way they bastardize this green area. Many of them, even to the river course. We have the issues at Lugbe, all this flooding here, and there, everything. It's just human activities that is taken too far. So, and it's telling on the environment. And what you throw to environment, that's what it throws back to you, at the end of the day. If you treat it well, it will treat you well. If you treat the environment well, the consequence of that treatment you give the environment, you are the one to bear it at the end of the day. So the master plan, originally the concept was good. But what we have, the population we have now, is overwhelming based on that master plan. That's why we call for, of course, master plan has a lifetime that's supposed to be reviewing time to time. That when you review it and then you come up with ideas and some other things, how you can. But with what we have now, and again, issue of the collaboration between here and Nasarawa State, people from Maraba and everything. But when you go everywhere, they will tell you I'm in Abuja, even Tel Kafi. So imagine the number of people that comes in from that state on a daily basis here. Then go to Niger, from Madala to Suleja. Many of them are coming with those people that domicile here. You cannot see that the environment is even already overwhelmed. So that is why we are coming here as a Nigerian Environmental Society to put up, because we are for advocates to create awareness and we're environmental watchdogs. So because when we see, we talk and we act. So that is worse for the Nigerian Environmental Society. Because if we don't speak, and nobody will speak, they will think it's a way of life and they will continue. But when we see, we may not have power to do some certain things, but at least we will talk and act, so that government that has the power to do some certain things will take it from there. Thank you.
Okay, so Bob, I would just like to add that what roles do you see local governments playing in the national environmental strategies? Because we've been talking about protecting our biodiversity, we've been talking about ensuring there is even awareness. Like you said, it seems like the problem is an awareness, but what has the local government done in implementing our national environmental strategies?
Yeah, thank you very much, my sister. I want to let you know that the local government is the third strata of governance system in the country. We have federal government, we have state government, and we have local government. And by the Constitution of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, there is this provision, a schedule in the Constitution, that the local governments are in charge of sanitation in our areas. But my question now is this: why is it that the local government have just gone dormant? That they are not doing anything as far as environmental sanitation is concerned? Go around the various states of the country, you will discover that they are not doing much. They're not doing much. What I am saying now is true. Not all the 774 local governments in the country. I have not seen anyone that have come out to show us how sanitation will be done, to show us how, because of this some opportunity given to them and the powers given to them by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, they have not been able to implement those things the schedule gave to them. Sanitation, let me tell you, when you go around the country, you will discover that whenever you are approaching any state, Every state has local government. You will discover that you have this linear dumping on our ways. That will tell you that you are now approaching a new city or you are approaching a new state. It's awful, and it is something that is not good for us, even as a nation. The local government have abdicated their responsibilities, and now the various states are struggling. But one of the worst things you can think about is that these same local governments that are doing nothing, absolutely nothing about the environmental sanitation and the upkeep of the environment and the healthy nature of the environment, they are the ones struggling with the states for autonomy, for authority. That we are the ones, the Constitution of the Federal Republic has given the responsibility to control the environmental sanitation and the keeping of the environment. Why are you moving into our territory? So when you talk about ecological funds that now sponsors or that's supposed to hold they are the ones that go out to collect these ecological funds. My question now is this: local governments, tell us where you have spent these ecological funds that are coming from the federal purse. You must tell us. Because when you go around the local government, you will discover that they hardly have even one payloader. You don't have tippers. They don't have anything they will use to evacuate. They don't even sustainably, they don't even have even landfill sites or even dump sites. So everything, they are just dumping things in our rivers, in our river courses, in our environment. When you go to some of these local government, you will see that it is something that we do not need to celebrate. It is unfortunate. It is unfortunate that the local government are not doing anything. I will say that they are not doing anything, because when someone is doing something, you will say he has not done enough.
Well, this one is not.
But this one, I have not seen anything. Yes, and that is impeding on our health and our sanitation and the health of the citizens of Nigeria.
If I will take it from there, town planner Lekon.
Yes, sir.
You see, I do not know if you observed it when you were growing up, because I know when I was growing up, in the villages, there are people who come to,
yes,
to
sanitary inspectors.
Sanitary inspectors, yes.
They will come and check whether you clean your environment. They will come and check whether you have toilet facilities and all the rest of them. But these days, I don't see them again. And I think that for their lack of functional, they are no longer, I wouldn't know why, whether they are being scrapped out or whatever. Why am I saying this? In your own, you are watchdogs of environment.
Yes.
Have you raised this cry before?
Several.
The government, and what is the outcome, and what do you think we should do to bring back those days so that we will have a serene environment where all of us will grow up and love it?
Okay. Thank you very much. I think what you said, like you mentioned, when we are growing up, we are opportune to witness so many of those things. Even to the market square.
Yes.
When you are people that says Gary and another thing, you must use white leather.
Yes.
I've witnessed it as a young boy in a primary school. Somebody came and just kicked the whole thing and started. I was just wondering, what is wrong with this man? They say because the person that is selling ought to have put a leather to cover this thing, to avoid this what they call fly inspection and this other something. They will move on. If your toilet, your latrine, let me use the word. You dare not live it. They will come and inspect all this from there. But all those things have been eroded. And we as Nigeria Environmental Society, we've been shouting, we've been talking, we've been doing the whole thing. It's only that the problem we have in this country, to a very large extent, we don't have a biting penalties. We don't have a biting penalty that when somebody is caught and you want to use as a deterrent for other people to stop doing that negative thing that they are doing. If the repercussion and the penalty is so biting, everybody will fall online. But people don't care. So, but here, despite the fact that they have not been doing enough, that doesn't will not deter us from doing what we are doing. We believe that at a point we will meet somewhere where they will have the understanding, and that is why we come to the society itself. It's very liberal. Now you can have a lawyer amongst us. We are all walks of life. That doesn't mean that maybe until when you go to school to study the environmental related courses before you can come, because all of us, every activity is on space, is on land. We are here, we do together. So by the time we come, the lawyers among us, everybody, we put all hands on there, so that where we feel that we can reposition ourselves and represent most of what this into the society through the government offices, we do. Sometimes we partner with most of those ministry, and then even all this agency like NISTRA and this other thing. They carry us along. Nigeria Environmental, Abuja Environmental Protection Board, all those, even till United UNIDO, we partner with most of them to see how we can do some things together, so that we can bring back sanity into our environment. As it stands now, honestly, it is. I don't know the word. I don't want to use a kind of word that will not be permitted there. Because but we want to see an environment like what that is like. Okay, a clear example is Kogi State here. If you move from here, the moment you enter Kogi State, before the university and this other, by the right hand side, go and see along Federal Road.
Like he called it a linear.
You see that is that I saw.
Let's get back to Doctor. A lot of us traveled to Baku, Azerbaijan, not long ago for the climate change conference, the UN climate change conference. Again, what we do with our environment has that ripple effect on the planet. And we came back with pacts and protocols and treaties and signatures that Nigeria, once again, has become part of. What would you say the reception is when we come back with these treaties and these beautiful, innovative plans to protect our environment? What's the reception like from governments and in driving these policies, creating the awareness for it, first of all, and ensuring there's implementation?
Yeah. My sister, I just want to thank you for bringing this to fore for everybody to hear it now. Of recent, COP29 took place in Baku, Azerbaijan. Let me tell you, every year, United Nations do move these meetings with various areas of the environment or human activities that could be highlighted, so that nations will gather and take this thing back home to go to their areas and begin to do the implementation. When you talk about COP is what we call Conference of Parties. And there is always agreement in this COP. And whenever they gather, they don't do much on those areas, asking them, how did you implement the last time we met? Yes. The topic we treated the last time. How many of you have actually implemented it as a nation? I'm talking about United Nations now. What is the result? United Nations, I don't think they're asking these questions. Rather, every year you bring a new topic on the environment and everyone will be rushing for it. But let me tell you, even as Nigerians, we love travels. We love to go to meetings. We love to go to conferences, workshops. We love to sign treaties. All those things we're signing. How have we implemented them? How have we localized them? How have we put them to use in our nation, Nigeria? I always ask. I say we have COPs 1 to 28. Now we have 29. Can you tell us what we have done with COPs 1 to 28?
And what is
the impact on the environment, on human being, on human health, and in our sustainability of our environment? These are some of the things we must have to look into, because it is not good for us to just be attending meetings. Then I will bring it to the doorstep of the federal government of Nigeria.
And that's
Because,
part of what you are
yes,
saying.
the federal government of Nigeria, yes, supposed to make implementation, but policies, how we can now implement what we have learned from other countries, from these conferences and from these meetings we have attended.
Thank you so much.
They must have to do it for us.
Thank you so much.
You know, we're running out of time.
Yeah,
So
that's
we have
exactly
to go to the induction.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Yes. Well, I don't know who's good. Okay, let us.
Yes, sir.
Let me come to you. Lekki,
Yes, sir.
Emmanuel.
Yes, sir.
You are the chairperson of Abuja chapter.
Yes, sir.
And it's in Abuja that it's happening.
Yeah.
That means you are the host.
Yes, sir.
Now tell us what is expected in that induction.
Well, thank you very much. The induction for this year will be coming up on the 6th, that's Friday, God's willing. And we thank God for another year and the way we have projected the society, that a lot of people are reckoning with us. And we have a lot of people coming in, left, right, and center to be part of this society. And we thank God for some of those ministries and parastatals that giving a marching order to their staff to, you must belong. Even before you can get promoted or can get some asset something now, you must belong to children so that we can see you working and doing everything. And they are coming. But that one is not enough for us. That is why this induction becomes very important to us. Now we'll be inducting about 74 persons on Friday, new member coming to that subject. But induction becomes very important. Why? Because we want to believe that not all of them, some of them may just have to come maybe because the push from their office. But by the time they come, we'll interact with them. It's an opportunity for us to welcome them first, officially, to our fold. Then secondly, we must let them to know the do and the don't. The practice, the workings of the society, what they stand to gain, and what we are expecting them to bring, the knowledge we have to bring, so that we can bring some together and keep it. So by so doing, when you do that, all of them will, even people that just have, let me just go there and have it for the goal's sake, might have a change of heart and be more committed. So like I discussed with somebody and I stumbled on this. That's a BP Billy Moria, the way he defined induction, that I was just talking to them. He said it's a technique by which a new employee is rehabilitated into a changed surroundings and introduced to the practice, policy, and purpose of the organization. Exactly that's what we want to achieve. The policy, the practice of the organization, of the workings of the next, that's what we want to let them know, want to expose them to that, so that by the time they get settled, all hands will be on deck and we'll be able to move forward. And the induction itself, we have a lot of activities that will come in.
That's where I was yes. First of all, is it a one-day event?
Yes, it's one day.
It's going to be packed in the end
yes, so one day. Yes, so yes. We're going to have a kind of technique.
As well as
yes, sir.
Other activities. That
yes, other activities. Right. Yes, so we're going to have a kind of a technical section, because as an environmentalist, we can't just waste the whole day on the jamboree without even taking something home. And the theme for this year induction is environmental sustainability solutions to contemporary environmental concerns for national economic growth. So that's what they will be talking. Dr. Abbas will be talking on that topic for people to have an idea, because wherever we gather, we try to at least come together and see how we can bring a solution. Yes, to talk about that, so that there should be a take home that somebody will always remember that and how it affects our national economy. We are talking about circular economy now and everything, so we can bring that up. So all this one use letters and papers and bottles we throw away, that how can we sustain and make it circular so that people can make money? It will be a kind of a chain and everything, instead of just dump and thinking that you throw it away. But you never throw any paper or any letter. It goes somewhere. You have not thrown it here.
And in 100 years, I read an article for more than 100 years, the polythene never dissolved.
Yes, even over 100 years, it's been there. So are you were thinking you've disposed it has gone somewhere. You have not really disposed it somewhere. So
I wish we could really enlarge this conversation, but we've run out of time. So, Uche Agbanusi, former national president, Nigerian Environmental Society, do you have your concluding thought for people? You have mentioned that it's happening on Friday,
yes.
And you didn't mention the venue, so that's where you have the opportunity.
Okay. Well, the venue is Christian Pilgrim Center in Wuse Zone 5, Abuja. My concluding answer is that every man should take care of his immediate environment, because whatever you do in the immediate environment has this impact, ripple effect outside. So when you are doing anything locally, think globally.
Think globally.
Thank you.
That is wonderful. I must thank you again for being part of this, and I wish you success on your induction and end of year celebration.
Thank you so
I
much.
hope to be inducted someday. I am an environment sustainability advocate. I do it as much as I can. I come from Crossriver State, where we do not just toss papers, we are very conscious. Not toss papers, rather toss polythenes. We are very conscious. But thank you so much for the work that you do. And I like that. Your concluding thoughts were very wonderful. My father always say, if everybody sweeps the front of their houses, the whole country will be clean. We've had Dr. Uche Agbanusi, former national president, Nigeria Environmental Society, with us. We've also had town planner Leke Olushola Emmanuel, FCT chapter chairman. Thank you, gentlemen, for being part of the program.
Thank you.
Thank you
for having us in your studio today.
God bless you.
God bless you.
I hope you come again for
that's why we need the media for us to be able to reach out to the world.
And I appreciate that.
Thank God that you're even coming up that page. We have been looking for who to drag this leg and so we will not go with that concluding that with you here.
So we go for a short break. Like we said earlier, we're going to be discussing the entertainment industry, the potentials in that $60 billion potential. What can we do to harness it? We'll be back to discuss that. Stay with us.